Climate policy is really one of the biggest issues that the global community is grappling with at the moment. It's the question about how will we respond to the inevitable impacts from climate change on all manner of things throughout the world, and it is that very, very important question of how do we reduce greenhouse gas emissions? What do we do to get our economies to net zero emissions? How do we do that without harming our economies? In Australia also we have tremendous opportunities, and many would say obligations as well, to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions.
The Crawford School of Public Policy developed the Graduate Certificate in Climate Policy because we recognise that there's a whole bunch of people out there that are looking to update their knowledge on climate policy. It's a rapidly moving policy space, both internationally and in Australia. And the Graduate Certificate as a shorter program gives a really flexible, excellent option for people who are looking at getting across what's going on in these advances in knowledge, updating skills, and being able to fit it in around their lives as well. So the program can be completed both in person and online. There's different courses that you might need to take to complete it online, but it is possible.
Basically, what we try and offer in our online courses is a mix of what we call asynchronous or activities that can be done in your own time. So listening to lectures or other resources, the readings and so on. And we try very hard to provide interactive opportunities where students get to mix with each other as well as the teaching staff. I teach a course called Toxic, Environmental Pollution and Waste. It's a really exciting new course that we're developing. There are some really important issues that have been going on in the last few years. For example, the issue of how do we manage waste globally? How can we build up recycling industries more effectively in Australia? What are some of the policy options we need to think about?
The Graduate Certificate of Climate Policy is really a research-led teaching exercise. So we've got some of the world's best minds in climate policy teaching into the program.
One reason for coming to Crawford School of Public Policy is the proximity to federal policy making that we have here in Canberra. It is the seat of federal government and of most of the bureaucracy for federal government, and so there's really unparalleled access and proximity to the processes that shape Australian federal policy on climate change. Interest in climate change policy is broad. This is a field where governments employ analysts and policy designers. State governments and federal government are traditional employers for our graduates in Australia. But there's of course also non-governmental organisations. This is a big topic for NGOs, not just for environmental NGOs, but also for unions, for social justice organisations, for example, and then it's of course business. Internationally, climate change is really at the top of the policy agenda in many fields. It is one of these issues that doesn't get solved, that doesn't go away very quickly, because it is not solvable very quickly. And that is the kind of question that individual national governments are trying to come to terms with and will be sorting out really over decades to come.